It's going back to your 2 Cup wins. You're sitting there with Dean Lombardi. You're trying to think, how can we make our team better? What is it that we need? Let's go back to a time as we introduced Marian Gaborik to the crew, a time that you spent with Marian Gaborik, who was an important piece to one of your Cup wins.
Absolutely, and it comes back to, again, with a player with a no-move clause. And at the time, we felt we needed a hired gun. We needed a guy that could shoot the lights out. And trying to convince Daryl Sutter initially that Marian Gaborik was the guy we were getting was a bit of a fun time. However, once we broke everything down, it was an absolute thing. We went to Columbus, and Columbus, like Marian, had full no-move clause. So once we get permission to speak to Gaborik, we find out that Marian really wants to be an LA King, and that's the only team that he wants to play for. Makes it very much easier when you're putting a package together. You're not holding anything back, but you know the real goods on this. So you kind of have to hold your cards a little bit, knowing this is where he's going to be. He's not going anywhere else. He shows up, and you know what? When he shows up, meets the boys in the road, gets us on a little bit of a run, 14 goals in the playoffs, show me the money, bing, bang, boom.
Nice. Marian, thanks so much for joining us. And talking about that situation, we're seeing a lot now. Carolyn Cameron mentioned yesterday that roughly 32% of the players have a no move of some sort in their contract. What was it like for you when you're approached by the LA Kings and maybe some other teams when you're asked to waive that no move?
Well, I mean, it was a no-brainer when I heard some rumors that LA might be interested, and I really got excited. Obviously, the time in Columbus wasn't great. I was hurt. I had 2 injuries, right, one after another, and I literally was gonna hang him up because I was just so frustrated. And then next thing you know, you get a chance to come into the team that has won, and LA Kings. I mean, I met them on the road, and the guys were unbelievable. They have won 7 or 8 straight, and you just come into a room and you just know that winning mentality, and it was something that I've never experienced before, and I was just so excited to be part of the team. And like I said, I was going to hang him up in Columbus after a couple of injuries, and then, a few months later, I'm holding the cup. So it was surreal and amazing story. And obviously, Feuds was one of the guys that was pulling for me. I'm not sure that everybody was behind him. Since my history with injuries and all that stuff, and if I can win, if I can be a winner, if I can help the team, but situation happened that I was there, and just things clicked, and next thing you know, we're winning a cup.
So a lot of players talk about, hey, the warm weather and going into that market. For you specifically, was it more about, you hear Juice talking an Army, you're all buff, maybe you want to get to the beach? Or did you look at the Kings as as a team legit that maybe you would have had the chance to win, obviously, before it all came together?
Well, I mean, in that situation, I was in Columbus, and I think I was 32 at the time, and the Stanley Cup dream was kind of disappearing, and then you get a chance to come to the team that has won, and the team that is going to make playoffs, and all of a sudden, you get new flow going, new excitement, and everything was just clicking the right way. Obviously, I had to get used to the team. Daryl sat me down and he just said, just play your game. The pressure is not on you. It's spread out throughout the whole team, and the guys really helped me out. And especially, the first round there, when I jumped forward a little bit against San Jose, we're down 3-0, and I remember coach from national team from Slovakia is calling me. I'm literally sitting on the beach after practice, and he says, "Yeah, would you go to play World Championship? It seems like you guys gonna be knocked out soon." I said, "Hey, we're not done," and I had no doubt in my mind that we're gonna turn these things around. Coming into dressing room when we're down 3-0 in practice, and just guys that had the feeling. The feeling in the room was that there's no way we're gonna lose this series, and it was unbelievable. I think Jeff Carter and Mike Richards were a part of the situation in Philadelphia when they're down 3-0, and they turned things around, and I had no doubt in my mind that we can do it, and we did, and the rest is history.
Gabby, you got the job done, bud. Best trade line acquisition in Kings history, and we showed you the money. I remember that. Coming into the room after Dean Lombardi, show me the money. Oh, we showed you the money, pal. Good job, buddy. Congratulations. You look great.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me, and just I wonder what's going to happen this trade deadline. I'm not really familiar with the details. What might happen? I heard some names flying around, but you guys just do your thing, and I'll just be watching.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Marian Gaborik, unbelievable. 3rd overall pick in 2000. Ended up scoring with 7 seconds left in that game 4 and the OT game winner to get the Kings on the board before they would run through the rest and win a cup. David, back to you.